The birth of Jesus Christ, an Islamic perspective. This is our today's topic of interest. We want to see, why does the Muslim world believe under the concept of Jesus? And why does the Quran itself say about the birth of Jesus Christ? But before we get into details, I would like to establish first that Jesus and his birth is mentioned in the Quran in two different places. One in the third chapter of the Quran, Surah Al Imran, and the other one in Surah Maryam, that is chapter 19. So we'll be quoting from Surah Al Imran, starting from verse 42 up to 50, going downwards there. These verses gives a narration of the event, how it actually happened, starting from the very beginning of the appearance of the angels to Mary, announcing to her about the birth of the Holy Child. So I'll be quoting in Arabic and giving the translation as well as the commentary wherever necessary. So I'll start. Verse 42, it says, وَإِذْ قَالَتِ الْمَلَائِكَةُ يَا مَرْيَمُ, and mention when the angel said, "O Mary, Inna Allah hastafaki, indeed Allah has chosen you, وَطَهَلَكِ, and has purified you, وَاسْتَفَاكَ لَلنِّسَاءِ الْعَالَمِينَ, and has chosen you above all women of all nations." Mary, the mother of Jesus, is described in the Quran as a woman who was chosen and purified and chosen above all women of all nations. This is the respect attributed to her from the glorious Quran, that she was chosen and she was purified and she was chosen above all other women of all nations. Verse 43 it goes, Ya Maryam uknuti ridabik wasjudi wairika amalikain. O Mary, be obedient to your Lord and prostrate in prayer with those who bow down in prayer. Dhalika min nabayir khaybi nuhihi ilayka. That is the news from the unseen which we reveal to you, O Muhammad. You were not with them when they casted pains for which one is responsible for Mary, nor were you with them when they disputed. Now, this is a case to do with the way the Jews apprehended the matter of Mary. How did they understand it? What was their comprehension? You see, because the Jews, they considered Mary having committed a foul play about this kind of thing of conception. So the next verse goes, إِذْ قَالَتُ مَلَائِكَةُ يَا مَرْيَمُ, and mention when the angel said, "O Mary, Inna Allah yubashiruki bikarimatin minhu." Indeed, Allah gives you good tidings of your words from him. Ismuhu al-Masih, his name is the Messiah, Isa bin Maryam, Jesus the son of Mary, wajihan fi dunya, he will be respected in this world, wal akhirah, and in the hereafter. وَمِنَّ الْمُقَلَّبِينَ, and he will be amongst those nearest to Allah. You see, the angel is telling Mary that she is going to have a son by the name Jesus, and this child will be respected in this world and in the hereafter, and he will be one of those nearest to Allah. وَيُكَلِّمُ النَّاسَ, and he speak to his people فِي الْمَهِدِ وَقَهْلًا, in childhood and in maturity. وَمِنَ الصَّالِحِينَ, and he will be amongst those righteous. When this news was delivered to Mary, Mary in her world, in her point of view, she couldn't process it. She couldn't figure out what the angel was trying to say. So in response, she asked, قالت, she said, Rabbi anni yakunu li waladu. My Lord, how will I have a child? Walam yamsasni basharu, yet no man has ever touched me. Yes, this was where she was. Because having a child in her world was a thing to do with sexual activity. She had a grasp of the natural fact that conception is a product of sex. So she couldn't figure it. She couldn't find out how was it possible for her to have a child in the absence of sex. So the angel in response said, assuring her about the thing. So the angel said, قَالَ كَذَلِكَ اللَّهُ يَخْلُقُ مَن يَشَاءُ, and such is Allah, He creates in whatever He wills. إِذْ قَضَى أَمْرًا فَإِنَّمَا يَقُولُ اللَّهُ كُنْ فَيَكُونُ. When Allah decrees a matter, He simply says to it, be, and it is. That's what the angel says. In other words, the angel was telling Mary that what she considered an impossibility was never a thing in the sight of Allah. He is the creator, the cherisher, the evolver of the world. Nothing is difficult in His sight. So so the angels telling Mary that for Allah to create, it is just a very simple thing. For Allah to create is qada amlan fa innama yaqulullahu kun fayakun. He simply decrees, he simply wills, and it is the will of Allah that comes into existence. It is the will of Allah that goes into being, that goes into matter. He simply utters a word, and they are the words that goes into existence. As we see from the very beginning of the creation, Allah would simply say, let there be light, and there was light. Let there be the sun, and there was the sun, on and on. So this is what the angels say. So we have checked from the Quran. You see, from the Islamic point of view, Jesus Christ was born miraculously. And Jesus Christ is one of the mightiest